John Moen watched today's hearing from the self-proclaimed energy capital of the world, Houston. He joins us live tonight. John, what did we learn today?
Well, Alex, Republican lawmakers largely avoided any talk of climate crisis. They narrowly focused on the surging demand for fossil fuels, even inviting to testify the man who says he lost his job because President Biden canceled the Keystone Energy Pipeline project. Democrats, for their part, were focused on the peril at hand because of the global reliance on fossil fuels. And in the middle of this all, the people who we really wanted to hear from, the executives of big oil.
For more than 150 years, oil and gas has played a critical role in our society, improving human lives, raising standards of living, and enabling unprecedented economic growth.
We believe the future of energy is lower carbon, and we're committed to being a leader in making that future a reality.
The CEOs of 4 of the oil industry's biggest players peppered with questions by Democrats about the role of their companies in worsening climate change and whether they're really committed to the cause. Republicans only focusing on their importance to jobs and the economy.
We know we have a hard road ahead, but it's also filled with opportunities.
And we continue to advocate for sound carbon policies that support the transition to renewables and lower carbon energy sources.
Despite commitments, U.S. crude oil production is still rising, up 3% just in the past year. The same is true of natural gas production, up 3.5% in the past year. The oil industry's answer to this? The demand is there. In fact, they argue production isn't high enough. The industry insists no production is not an answer.
Reliable supplies of natural gas are lowering consumer costs.
American oil companies all fund the American Petroleum Institute, producing ads like this, touting the benefits of oil and gas.
Climate change is real. Industrial activity contributes to it. And the challenges of ushering in a lower carbon future are massive.
The president and CEO of the organization insisted he agrees there's a climate crisis, but at the same time, the API is lobbying Congress to end programs that make electric cars more affordable. It opposes methane fees designed to discourage pollution. The oil companies continue to fund the API, even as their executives claim to disagree with some of their efforts.
And you could do something here. You could tell them to knock it off for the sake of the planet. You could end it. You could end that lobbying. Would any of you take the opportunity to look at API and say, stop it? Any of you?
The oil industry executives swatted away claims that their companies have intentionally lied or deceived the public about the link between greenhouse gas emissions and climate change, despite evidence to the contrary.
Did we join some of these shadow groups to work against some of the early efforts? Yes, that's true.
Evidence like a lobbyist for Exxon caught in a Greenpeace video bragging that Exxon worked with shadow groups to undercut climate science. The company fired him.
Do you think that a company has the right to lie, for example, about climate change and then use the First Amendment as a camouflage and a shield against litigation?
I don't believe companies should lie, and I would tell you that we do not do that.
Alex, the oil industry executives who testified each refused to pledge that their companies would not spend money to oppose efforts to reduce emissions. They also refused to commit to an audit or any kind of oversight to prove that they aren't funding any similar efforts now.